I just finished my masterpiece ceiling, the tongue and groove ceiling that I will be uploading on the other channel. Should be up the same time that this video is up. If you're interested in why I'm so happy, go check that video out. It'll be linked in the description, and it will be linked at the end of this video in a card that pops up next to my head. You're not a handyman. Stop calling yourself a handyman. I get that comment a lot on both channels, more so the other channel. This video is about how to be more than just a stereotypical handyman. First, we have to define what the average person, what the masses think and see when they hear the word handyman. And it's not really a positive image. One of the main reasons I do not call myself a handyman in real life. It's just the name of my YouTube channel. That's one of my responses to a lot of commenters is, hey man, chill out. It's just the name of my YouTube channel. Since the main channel is dedicated towards homeowners, DIYers, you know, it's good to be handy around your house and just to have a large working knowledge of how your house works and functions. So that was the reasoning behind that, and I thought it was kind of catchy. If you ask a trim carpenter, a roofer, you ask anybody who has a specialty trade, a handyman is a hack. Someone who can't do anything right. So they have to be self-employed and just do minor fixes. Now, if you asked a homeowner that is completely disassociated with the egos and the elitist attitudes that you find in this industry, they will say a handyman is someone who does general home repairs, basic home repairs, and might have a drinking problem. They are considered a lower wage. Just call a handyman. Don't call a professional. Professionals cost too much to do this simple home repair, so we will just call a handyman. Whether it's maybe fixing your storm door, replacing a broken window, that even might be too complicated for a lot of handymen. Replacing a light fixture, that is one of the most basic home improvement projects. A lot of property managers use handymen. Painting, don't call a professional painter. They cost too much. It's not rocket science. Just call a handyman. Have him paint that wall, paint the door, paint the shed, paint the fence, stain the deck. Doesn't take a professional to do that. As soon as you put a professional name, logo, you got to pay for that. That's expensive. I would say another major aspect or component of being a true handyman is you don't have any sort of certifications. You do not have a contractor's license. You don't have any specialty trade licenses. You do not have any insurance. And you don't pay taxes. That is just straight up the financial definition or the logistic definition of a handyman. So this video is how to be more than just a handyman. Now that we've established that a handyman is on the lower end, that's what people expect. To be more than a handyman, you want to have, at the bare minimum, some insurance. It's not expensive. It's commercial liability insurance. I've had insurance for a long time, but I didn't. In the beginning, I didn't. Why? Because I couldn't afford it. I was just getting by. It was deep into the recession. People didn't have much money to spend on home improvement. They were just trying to get the bare minimum done with spending the least amount of money. They didn't care if you had insurance or not. They were willing to take the risk. Times are different. I'm older. I got a huge amount of responsibility. I need to be covered. Covered. I have a business attorney that specializes in small businesses and social media. I have an accountant that handles all my bookkeeping. I do zero bookkeeping. With getting liability insurance, you also need to have a registered business. That's another thing that is a characteristic of a true handyman. They just operate off of
Billy Bob's Handyman Service.
Is it registered with the Secretary of State? Probably not. Are they paying tax under there? Probably not. Are you writing checks to Billy Bob's Handyman Services? No, you're writing a check to Billy Bob. Billy Bob might not even have his own bank account. Billy Bob takes your check, goes to your bank, and cashes it. Or they go to a check cashing service because they don't have a checking account, they don't have a savings account, they don't have anything. They've got cash and they live paycheck to paycheck, job to job. So there's your 3 steps. Establish a business account and have it, if you have a personal bank where you have your personal money, keep your business money at a different bank. Just trust me, we'll get into the details of why in the future. So if you have a Bank of America for your personal banking, go to Chase, Chase, Wells Fargo, and do your business there. I don't have a preference on what bank to choose. So you got to establish a business checking account. Money goes in, money comes out of that business checking account. Next step, go to your Secretary of State's website. Register as an LLC. And you might be thinking,
Well, Handyman, you always say go S-corporation.
well, you got to make money, a decent amount of money, for an S-corporation to work. First thing is, we're starting at the low levels here. Get an LLC set up. It's very simple to do. There's not very many yearly filings. Get your LLC set up. Then get your business commercial liability insurance. You can do it all yourself. That is the natural phase of progression. Say you have a career, you hate your career, you like fixing your own house, you fix your friend's house, your mother's house, your grandma's house. You want to do some side action. You want a side hustle, and you want to experiment with it to see if it could turn into your full-time gig. Do you need all these insurance, LLC, a bank account? Most handymen that have a side hustle are doing it for cash. They may pay taxes on some of it just as extra income. It's not going to be 50, 60 grand a year. It might be $10,000 to $15,000 a year that you slide into your account. You pay taxes on it as some extra earned income, and it goes into your vacation fund, your children's education fund. Maybe you're saving to buy a new truck or trailer or something like that, or a new boat. That's my opinion, and that's what I did. That is phase one on how to become more than a handyman, because most handymen don't have a registered business, don't have insurance, don't have a dedicated business checking account. That's step one to be more than the stereotypical handyman. I've never had a customer ask for proof of insurance. Just get it. $1,300 a year. So it's a little over $100 a month. You'll get audited by that insurance company. That is not a financial audit. An audit means that they just want to check up and they want to know what jobs you have done to make sure that the insurance policy is correct for what you've done. It's not a big deal. Don't get scared that you're being audited by the insurance company. It's standard practice. I want to do a few more videos on the baseline of how to become a handyman and how to become more than a handyman. I think we'll get into the skill level next, but this was more of the logistics, the legalities, the insurance coverages, the bare minimums of what you should do to become more than just your basic drunk handyman. Go watch this video here. This is a longer talk that I put on about this subject from months past. Gotten a lot of positive feedback. It's going to be very valuable for those of you who are just getting into it, thinking about making it your side hustle.